Welcome to Salsido Paranormal. I'm your host, James Salsido, and tonight I'm sharing experiences, true paranormal stories from the web. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media, ways to listen, and ways to support the show at the website, and that is salsidoparanormal.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.com. There are many ways to support the show. You can always share the show with others and rate and review it on your favorite podcast platform. You can sign up for the Patreon feed and get all the extra content there for as little as $1 a month. You can also check out the merchandise store and get all kinds of shirts and some other items there with designs made by friends of the show. And support is never expected but always appreciated, as there are expenses in making these shows. Please also follow friends of the show. That would be Jen, the Arcane Observer, who has her own channel and is the co-host with me on Saturdays when she's able to join me. And also Ricky of the Anything Is Possible podcast, where I join him on Sundays whenever I can. So far, I've made it to everyone so far, so I'm really happy about that. And Michael Strange, host of Trouble Minds Radio and the Trouble Minds Radio Network, KUAP, digital broadcasting, where you can hear all kinds of amazing shows as well as my own online 24/7 for free. So I think that takes care of everything. Thank you all for being here and listening in. And let me get back to these true stories here, and we'll see how many we can get through this episode. So, this next one says, once I scroll down to actually see it, there we go. This is a short one, relatively short one. This says, my uncle flew in for the holidays, and before dinner, I went to take a bath. I was looking down, just thinking about life, and I noticed the lights turn off. Then I saw it, a completely white figure about the size of an average man and completely featureless. No face or even eyes. It ran past the hallway. At first, I thought it was my brother playing a prank, and I quickly got on my towel and turned the lights back on. I knocked on his door and said that I knew he did it. He denied it, which made me more mad. But then I thought about it. The figure ran past the hallway toward the stairs, seemingly disappearing as no one said anything about seeing anyone coming down the stairs. Plus, my brother's room is on the other side of the hallway. This happened again 2 times where the figure zipped past me through the hallway, and I'm now convinced it was a ghost. And that's where that one ends. That's fascinating. The lights turning off in the one case, but not the others. I don't know what to make of that unless it really was sort of trying to do a prank or something. Um, I don't know what that was, if that was an apparition of a spirit or consciousness there that just for whatever reason didn't have features. It's hard to say. Um, I'm also surprised, I guess, in a way that no one else had any experiences there. I do wonder, is it because this person that had these experiences is sensitive? Uh, I don't know. And maybe the rest of the family is not so much. It's hard to say. But the lights turning off. I wonder if. So it sounds like the light switch was turned off. It wasn't just the lights going out and then coming back on, because the witness had to turn them back on themselves. So that sounds like possibly physical contact between the apparition and the light switch, although it's always hard to tell because I've heard other accounts of and read other accounts of light switches where people saw the switches move, but they didn't see anyone there, which I guess could still be physical in a way. It's hard to know with all these things how that is possible, how non-physical beings, at least as far as we know, can have physical effects on objects around us. So, and I've had that, not the light switch thing, but I've had just recently, in fact, it happens once in a great while. My closet door, I found it open, and I didn't hear anything. And it's one of those sliding, uh, folding closet doors. It's made of metal, and so usually when you open it or close it, it makes sound. So it had to have been done, I'm guessing, extremely slowly because it always seems to happen when I'm here at home. And this is not a big place. If anything happens and I'm awake the whole time, which I usually am when this happens, I would usually hear it. So it's an odd experience. It's not really scary. I find that fascinating. So anyway, moving on to the next one here. This one says, this happened yesterday at around 2 p.m. I was on a call with my boyfriend, sitting on my bed and playing the guitar. I had rested the guitar on my lap for a second to listen and dropped my pick down the hole. And there's usually a hole in a guitar for it's 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 fairly deep. It's basically there's a board on the bottom of the guitar. But anyway, I shook it. I shook it out, and it fell beside me on the bed. But when I went to look for it, it was gone. I saw where it had landed, but it was nowhere. I looked for maybe 6 minutes, but I gave up. An hour later, I was sitting at my desk with my phone, excuse me, propped up against my monitor because I was on a video call. I was leaving to go sharpen a pencil for my sketching and had set my phone face up on my desk. When I returned, the pic was sitting on my phone screen. My boyfriend didn't see anything, but I know for a fact it wasn't there before. I had just recently started talking with him about paranormal things that had happened in his life. And that's where that one ends. I wonder if there's a connection between the boyfriend's experiences and the witness, their own experience that they had there. It's hard to know. The the pic appearing on the phone, top of the phone, is fascinating. And yeah, I don't know. It sounds like something happened there, and I don't know. Now the question is, did the same consciousness or force that took the pic originally bring it back? Was it just a case of the mechanics of the universe um, acting weird, which is what took it and then brought it back? Because I always wonder with these experiences, is there intelligence behind the appearance and the vanishing and reappearance of items, or is there not? And of course, I always like to take everything case by case, experience by experience. But just a general question of how is it happening? Why is it happening? And and I guess I have my own answer here in a way. It's probably if I talk, it's probably both. Some cases it is a consciousness that for whatever reason wants to look at or have an item for a time and somehow takes it. And there may be cases where it's just some kind of a, again, the mechanics of reality, the mechanisms or just the way reality works, whatever reality is, that causes objects to vanish and disappear and reappear. Also, words are hard, but anyway. So yeah, that's a fascinating one. Moving on to the next one here. This one says, a friend of mine is finding dirt piles around in his house. He'll be in one room, leave, then come back to find a pile of dirt on his personal items or table. The ceiling is sealed off, and there is no place where dirt would fall from. Notably, this happened most frequently right after moving into a new place. Does anyone know the significance of dirt related to the paranormal, um, related to paranormal hauntings, or have other theories? And that's where that one ends. I've heard of water appearing. I've shared a couple of experiences of that in the show over the years here, either drops or just basically large amounts of it. I've heard of coins appearing, any various denominations of coins. I have never, until this post, heard of dirt appearing in a home. That is fascinating, and again, how is that happening? Why is it happening? I wonder. So I don't know much about magic or rituals or anything like that, but I'd be curious if there's some significance of that particular thing of dirt in any kind of rituals that may be a reason or meaning behind the appearance of it in the home. Uh, I'm guessing there's nothing else happening there, which is good. It does sound like it's following the person though, which is also not that great in a way. So I don't know what to make of that one, even less than most of the true stories I find. Um, I've never heard of dirt. I've heard of. I'm just trying to think of all the things I've heard of before. There was it? I forget what it was now. There was another true story I shared a while ago. I think it was like safety pins that kept on appearing um, around locations where this family was, and even separate locations and separate when the family was not all together. They'd find these. I think it was safety pins. Anyway, they found it to be a very positive experience. So, so yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that one. Moving on to the next one here. Let's see. This one says, I wanted to share a strange experience I had the night my grandfather passed away, and I'm wondering if anyone has experienced something similar. On the night he died, I woke up suddenly around 3 or 4 a.m. I was in a weird state where I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or awake. The most terrifying part was that I couldn't feel my legs. It felt like they didn't belong to me or weren't there at all. Because of this sensation, I remember crawling towards the door instead of walking. It felt incredibly real, yet surreal at the same time. I checked the door, saw nothing, and eventually managed to crawl back to bed and fall asleep. The next morning, we received the news. My grandfather had passed away exactly during those hours, around 3 or 4 a.m. At the time of my experience, I had no idea he had died. Even the next day, I struggled to distinguish whether that crawling experience was a vivid dream sleep paralysis, or something else. Has anyone else felt physical symptoms like losing the use of legs at the exact moment a loved one passed? And that's where that one ends. I haven't heard of that specifically. I've heard of people feeling pain from loved ones when they were either injured or when they were. I don't even know if I've heard of that when they're dying necessarily. So that is um, an odd one. Again, sort of a new type of experience to add to all the others that I've never quite heard of before. I wonder what the state of the grandfather's legs was at the time. Like, were they? I don't know. I'm just wondering if there was something going on with his legs at the time, and that's why the writer there had that experience. But again, without more details, I don't know. And of course, that's very personal stuff, so I wouldn't blame anyone for not wanting to share that in a public post. So, so yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll keep that one in mind, and you never know when another post is going to come up that is very similar online. So, moving on to the next one here. This one says, the other night I was sitting in my room with the lights on and the door open. The hallway light was also on. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a small figure in the hall, standing in front of my son's door. I looked over and saw a little boy of about uh, 9 or 10 years old. It wasn't my son. He is 16 and almost 2 feet taller than the figure I saw. It wasn't transparent and it didn't disappear as one would expect. I couldn't see the face, just the body, which was weird. My youngest daughter then came running down the hall, past the figure, and then it was gone. The weird thing is, I don't believe in ghosts. I find the concept interesting, but never took it seriously until now. Do you all think I saw a ghost? Or was it just some trick of the light I can't explain? And that's where that one ends. I don't know. It sounds like the person there saw something. I'm also wondering, did the daughter see it or not? So it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't know. It's and the fact that this figure was gone once the daughter passed it. It's like it maybe chose that minute, that second to disappear, possibly. So I don't know with that. And it could have been a spirit, soul, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Could have been residual. It's hard to say, as usual. Let's see here. Let's go to this next one here. It's a longer one. This one says, I have been into horror and paranormal things for about 12 years or so now. So my mind may have just jumped to conclusions, but that's why I came to this website. Sorry in advance for bad grammar. Autocorrect won't work on my device. For some context, I live with my mom currently, and as far as I'm aware, we have not had anyone in the family pass away recently, within the past year or so. But earlier today, my mom was about to step into the bathroom when she heard something. My room is just next to it, and I was in my bed playing video games. I didn't hear anything, but she said she heard a sort of calling for her, if that makes sense. I am a little childish at times, so I will occasionally call for her in a drawn out way and with a really high pitched voice. That's kind of what she heard. I had just spoken, but all I did was whisper the name of a character from my game. She asked me if I said anything, to which I replied no. But then about half an hour ago or so, I heard some sort of banging or some sound like that coming from the bathroom. I'm the only one awake. It's 11:30 as I'm writing this for context. I'm well aware it could have been piping or our house creaking. I could talk, but we haven't had piping issues before, and our house doesn't sound like what I heard. I have no idea what it could be, but because of my obsession with paranormal activity, I came here. If anybody has an explanation or ideas on how to tell if it is paranormal or not, please let me know. And that's where that one ends. Um, so it sounds like there's some activity in the bathroom there. I don't know why it's started all of a sudden or stopped possibly after that. Um, and again, do do spirits or consciousness, do they pass through areas and randomly cause activity without meaning to? I don't know. Or do they try to sort of get people's attention just to say hi in a way? So, just more questions to consider there. Um, all right. So, I think we're less than 2 minutes away from the end of a show here. So I think we're gonna, as far as more stories, we're gonna end there. But so just to remind everyone, I do have a blog I'm doing now where I share basically experiences from the archives. It's actually what I've called, I believe I called the blog posts now. They're on my Substack, which you can find online through my social media links and all that. I believe I have it. If I don't have it in my episode description, I'll have to put it in there. And I share 3 of these experiences that I've used on shows previously, like within the last several years here. Well, 2 years, 5 years now. Um, and my current thoughts on them. And I usually do that with three experiences per post. I put out a couple of these posts now, and it's been a lot of fun. Sort of going back to older reports of experiences and thinking about them now, and just giving my thoughts on them in general. So if anyone out there likes to read more than they like to listen to things, or you like both, you're welcome to check it out. It's on my Substack, and again, like I said, I will. I'm glad I decided to talk about this because I'm going to check on my episode descriptions. I don't think I have that directly in there. So it's one more link I'll have to add to them. So, but yeah. So if you like that kind of thing, you're welcome to check it out. And I post every Monday, so far anyway, and once a week. So, um, and let's see here. I think that covers everything. Other than I've already talked before about the new recording schedule, and yeah, I think that'll do it. So, thank you all for listening, as always, and supporting the show in all the ways you do, whenever you're able to. And I will talk to you all next time on Salsido Paranormal. Take care.